Let me show you guys how I make my frontal wig. This is the way I make mine. If you have a different opinion about how you make yours, please keep it to yourself. Thank you. Anyways, I'll be using 3 bundles in total and a 13 by 6 frontal. You'll be needing a 22 size canvas head. Depends on what your client's head size is. A tripod stand, your T-pins, your thread and needle. I use the curved needle. You can use the straight needle, but I learned how to use the curved needle. Don't forget your claw clip, your scissors, your Sharpie or marker, your dome cap. This is what I use, and this is what it looks like. It's a mesh dome cap, and it comes in different sizes as well. This is the size in medium. So I like to make sure the place that is angled is at the back, and then the place that is flat is in front. And then there's this middle line on my canvas head. I like to align the cap so it's in the middle directly, and then just as the way you wear your wig, how the cap will sit, that is how I wear my cap. And then I use my T-pins to drag the cap down just like I did in the video, and this is what it's looking like. It's exactly size 22. So for the frontal, I'm going to fold it into two so I can get the middle part, because most frontals do not come with the middle part. So I'm going to use my marker. You can use a chalk, that's what tailors use. You can use that and it's fine. It's going to get the job done. So you're going to mark the middle and make sure it's in the middle. So I'm going to put the frontal on the cap and then measure 1 inch forward. If it's not exactly 1 inch forward, you're going to have a problem with installation. So make sure you measure 1 inch forward and then you pin it. The tape should be on the beginning of the cap. You can feel it under the net and then downward. So after that, I'm going to turn it and then I'm going to pin the back as well so the cap does not move from the 1 inch we just measured. I'm going to do the same for both sides of the cap as well. This is because you have enough room for installation. I always start in the middle. It's advisable to start in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and do the side. I'm doing the same thing, measuring from the cap, that is the beginning of the cap, to the lace. Make sure you measure 1 inch, 1 inch on the middle, 1 inch on the side, and then 1 inch on the other side. So I'm basically just repeating the same thing I did in the middle and the other side, just 1 inch, and then you're going to pin it with your T-pin so it doesn't move when you want to stitch down your lace. After all this is done, you have to go back and remeasure. I also always measure to be sure that I have 1 inch. So if you have this M shape, you know you're on the right track. But if it's not showing this M shape and it's straight, you did it wrong, and you have to take it all down and start all over again. So I'm going to pin the back to the cap so it stays in place before I start to stitch. This video is going to be too long, so I'm going to um, have a part 2 of me stitching the frontal and also sewing the bundles. So stay tuned for part 2 and I will see you in the next one. But before that, let me quickly show you guys how to thread your needle. So you're going to take your thread and fold it into 2. You're going to drag it to the length you want. I suggest you do not make it very long since you're just a beginner. After that, you're going to pass the folded part through your needle and then drag it to the end of the thread you just pulled, and then this way you're going to have 4 thread. So after that, you're going to cut off the other thread that came from the main thread. I don't know if you understand this English, but when you do it, you'll know. Then I'm going to cut it off, then tie it 3 times. You can tie it twice, but I suggest you tie it 3 times to be secured. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off the excess thread at the end and I begin to sew my wig. I'll see you in part 2. Please don't forget to like and follow.